So far we talked about the planning phase. Now we are actually getting, as they say, the tire is meeting the road. We are getting into execution mode. So I'm going to introduce two key aspects in this particular arrow. Though I'm calling it marketing and positioning, the arrow, we are going to elaborate on marketing and positioning, and also we're going to introduce the concept of a configuration. Why should we think about configuration? What is a configuration? So let's take an example first to illustrate this and then talk about configuration. Argument's sake, let's imagine somebody is in the business of creating a personal net worth software. Every day I can go check what is my net worth on the various investments I have done, and I'm in the business of creating such a software. If that software configuration is such that it always designed with an expert user in mind, it becomes very difficult for a normal user to adopt. At the same token, if it is very easy to use but does only very basic functionality to keep it simple, the advanced user loses interest. So the configuration should be such that it will be good for the advanced user and good for the novice user to jump into it. And also, if I build monolithic configurations, I mean one structure in the example of this personal management software, personal net worth management software, if a tax regulation changes, you need to rebuild the entire software to support it. Now your configuration is not viable. So early in the life cycle of building this offering, you need to think about what is the configuration. Keep all the stakeholders in mind. Keep the ability for you to service the various versions of the software that exist. How does it accommodate changes? How easy it is to maintain? All this goes into configuration. To draw a very simple example, many times when people build a car, when many large companies build a car, just being an example, when they bring it to the market, one of the key consideration in configuration is maintainability. How does a mechanic will be able to easily maintain it? So from our perspective, if you build very difficult, hard to use, very difficult to maintain, and also configurations which are very monolithic, without considering any of the specific user groups in mind, you suddenly find adoption becomes difficult. Even after adoption, life cycle of the product gets affected, life cycle of the offering gets affected. So we think upfront on the configuration part, which essentially links it back to the marketing and positioning. I am actually stressing marketing quite a bit here, primarily because many a times, at least on this as a function, at least for new businesses, is generally get overlooked. You can see many businesses, especially new businesses, have been extremely successful wherever they've got a good product, good offering, and also marketing function really kicks in. With the advent of digital marketing, with the advent of the ability to reach your intended audience, intended viewership, intended customers, the marketing as a function has to become inherently successful for the business. So before you reach the market with your offering, the market should have heard about you, and you should have spent enough time positioning your offering in the marketplace. So to speak, if I link it to the earlier discussion, your operating plan should have so much clarity in terms of upfront and continuous marketing you do. By the time you actually hit the market, there are at least a set of customers or set of potential customers who actually know about your product and in some sense are contributing to that product in terms of either spreading it virally or giving you feedback as to how to improve it. So in short, what we are trying to introduce in this arrow is, how do you configure for a market? How do you create lead generation through getting your customers to know your product, potential customers know your product, through marketing. Marketing, generally we can talk about 3 or 4 concepts. What's your message? Which are your channels? What is the frequency of your message? And through which platform you are messaging? So essentially, though I'm stressing a lot on marketing and configuration, interestingly I'm connecting back to the operating plan. So this as an operating plan requirement has to lead even before actually your product or offering hits the marketplace. What is the lead time? Where should be the channels? What should be your messaging? This has to become a discipline inside your operating plan, inside your business, so that you reach the market in the right window, right offering for your addressable market space in a configuration which is easy to maintain by you, easy to maintain for your potential consumers or customers.